The alarm goes off and your body doesn't agree with it. You sit up slowly. You swing your legs over the edge of the bed and pause there for a second because standing up too fast feels like a bad idea today. Your knees announce themselves on the way down the hallway. Your lower back has an opinion about the first few steps. Your hands feel tight, like they need a few minutes before they're really yours again. Maybe you reach down to pick something up off the floor, and there's that small involuntary sound you make now, the one you didn't used to make. You've probably stopped mentioning it out loud. It's not an emergency, it's not something you'd call a doctor about. It's just the morning now, something you manage instead of something you question. If any of that sounds familiar, give me the next few minutes, because what I'm about to show you has been used for centuries as a simple bedtime ritual to help people wake up feeling less stiff. One small warm cup, 30 minutes before bed, nothing complicated. And here's the interesting part, many people start noticing a difference around the third or fourth morning. Getting out of bed feels easier, the first steps feel less awkward, the gap between waking up and feeling normal starts getting shorter. By night 7, many people describe the same thing. Their mornings simply don't feel as hard as they used to. So what's in this bedtime ritual? A spice that's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. Cayenne pepper. And for many people, the first sign it's working isn't less pain. It's realizing they got out of bed without thinking about their joints first. And for many people, the first sign it's working isn't less pain. It's realizing they got out of bed this morning without thinking about their joints first. Not in a capsule, not in a supplement, just a small amount in warm water before bed. Now let's talk about why something as simple as cayenne before bed could change what your mornings feel like. Because the real cause of morning stiffness is probably not what you think. Most people assume morning stiffness is just age catching up with them, wear and tear, the natural cost of having a body for a few decades, something you're supposed to quietly accept once you hit a certain birthday. But what if that's not really what's happening? Here's something worth noticing, if you haven't already. The stiffness isn't random, it's worst right after you wake up, and it eases slowly, frustratingly slowly, as the morning goes on. By midday, you're mostly fine. By evening, you've almost forgotten about it. If this were simple wear and tear, why would it follow that exact pattern every single day, like clockwork? Wear and tear doesn't usually reset itself by lunchtime. So what if the stiffness isn't really about damage at all? What if it's about something your body didn't get a chance to finish overnight? Here's the thing most people have never been told. Your body is supposed to do repair work while you sleep, quietly in the background while you're completely unaware of it, clearing out the inflammation that built up during the day, restoring tissue, resetting the system for tomorrow. But repair work needs resources. It needs blood flow reaching the right places. It needs warmth. It needs the conditions to actually carry it out. And if your body runs short on any of that partway through the night, the work gets left unfinished. You wake up to the unfinished part. So the real question isn't, why am I getting older? It's, what does your body actually need overnight that it might not be getting? And is there something small, simple, already sitting in your kitchen that could change that? Here's the hidden cause, in plain terms. During the day, inflammation builds up in your joints. That's not unusual. That's not a sign anything is wrong. It happens just from sitting, standing, walking, living a normal day inside a normal body. Your body is built to handle this. It's designed to. The plan is for your body to clear that inflammation overnight while you sleep. That's part of what deep sleep is actually for. Not just rest for your mind, but active maintenance for your tissue. But here's the problem: almost nobody connects to their mornings. If your circulation slows down too much overnight, if your hands and feet go cold, if blood isn't reaching your joints the way it should while you're lying still for 7 or 8 hours, that cleanup never finishes. The inflammation just sits there, unresolved, until morning. And what does inflammation that never got cleared feel like? Stiffness, right where you'd expect it, right when you wake up, loudest in the joints that depend most on circulation reaching them, the knees, the hips, the lower back, the hands. So the fix was never about fixing your age. It's about helping your circulation stay active enough, for long enough, through the stillest hours of the night, to actually let your body finish the job it was already trying to do. There's one ingredient that's been used for exactly this purpose, before sleep specifically, for over 9,000 years. It's small, it's red, and it's probably sitting in your spice rack right now, mostly forgotten. used only when a recipe calls for heat. If this is starting to make sense, go ahead and subscribe right now, because what I'm about to show you next is the part most people have never connected to their own mornings. And there's a lot more like this coming. The Aztec civilization had one of the most advanced medical traditions of their time, and they used a specific red spice, not as a flavoring, but specifically before sleep, given to warriors recovering from the physical demands and injuries of battle. The pattern they noticed was consistent enough to become standard practice. Warriors who took it before rest recovered faster, less stiffness the next morning, less swelling around old injuries. Bodies that seemed to have done more repair work overnight than the warriors who hadn't taken it. In traditional Chinese medicine, there's a concept called cold obstruction, the idea that when the body goes still and cold settles into the joints overnight, circulation stalls in exactly those areas, and the joints pay the price by morning. The remedy, prescribed specifically before bed and not at any other time of day, was something warming, something that kept the blood actively moving through the hours when the body would otherwise go quiet and cold. Ayurvedic medicine describes nearly the same pattern using completely different language. People with what practitioners called a cold, stagnant constitution were given a warming preparation every single night. Not occasionally, not just when symptoms flared, but as a consistent practice, specifically to prevent the morning stiffness that came from poor overnight circulation. And across the Caribbean, this same red spice, stirred into warm water, became a household remedy passed down mother to daughter for generations, taken before bed, specifically for joint pain, specifically for the mornings that used to feel harder than they needed to. Different continents, different centuries, different languages for describing what was happening, but the same observation, arrived at independently over and over again. Give the body warmth and circulation before it goes still for the night, and the morning that follows is different. Cayenne contains a compound called capsaicin. Here's what that means for you practically. It keeps your circulation active for longer than it normally would be at night. It tells your blood vessels to stay open a little longer through those still, quiet hours, so blood keeps reaching your hands, your feet, your joints, the exact places that usually go cold and stiff while you sleep, simply because they're farthest from your heart and easiest for your body to deprioritize when you're lying still. What does that mean for your morning? Less inflammation left sitting unresolved in your joints when you wake up. The overnight cleanup actually gets the chance to finish instead of stalling out around 2 a.m. the way it usually does. There's a second part to this that matters just as much. Capsaicin also works gradually on your body's pain signals, not by numbing anything, not by masking the problem, but by slowly, gently quieting the volume on the discomfort your joints have been broadcasting every single morning. This doesn't happen in one night. It builds night after night, the same way a habit builds. And there's a third piece that genuinely surprises most people the first time they hear it. Cayenne actually helps you sleep more deeply. It raises your body temperature slightly right after you drink it. And then, as that warmth fades over the following hour, your temperature drops a little lower than it would have on its own. That drop is one of the actual physical signals your body uses to fall into its deepest stages of sleep. So you end up with 3 things happening at once every single night: deeper sleep, better circulation reaching the joints that need it, and pain signals that get quieter over time. None of these is dramatic on its own. Together, across 7 nights, they add up to a morning that feels noticeably different. In traditional Caribbean households, this wasn't treated as medicine reserved for sick people lying in bed. It was just what you did before sleep if your joints had been giving you trouble, as routine as brushing your teeth. Grandmothers passed it down the same way they passed down everything else that actually worked in their families. Not because a study told them to, not because they understood capsaicin or circulation, but because they watched it happen year after year in the people closest to them. The ones who kept up the nightly habit moved differently in their 60s and 70s than the ones who didn't. Less hesitation getting up out of a chair, less wincing on the stairs, a kind of physical ease that the people around them noticed, even when nobody said anything about it directly. That kind of consistent difference, observed across generations and across an entire region, doesn't happen by accident. It happens because something real was going on, night after night, long before anyone had the language to explain why. So here's what we did. No lab equipment, no fancy tracking app, just paying attention, the same way every grandmother in that tradition paid attention, one night at a time. A 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne in warm water, with a little raw honey and a squeeze of lemon, taken 30 minutes before bed. every night, for 7 nights. Here's what people noticed. Night 1, the warmth hits fast, mouth, throat, chest, within seconds of the first sip. By the time you're settled under the covers, your hands and feet already feel warmer than they normally would. Night 2, you may notice you fell asleep a little faster than usual. Nothing dramatic, just smoother, less of the usual lying there waiting that some nights bring. Day 3, some people begin to realize, almost as an afterthought, that getting out of bed this morning didn't involve the usual pause. You're up, and you're just up. It takes a second to register that something was different. Night 4. This is often where sleep itself starts to feel different, deeper, less broken up through the night. If you usually wake around 2 or 3 a.m. for no obvious reason, you might notice that simply doesn't happen tonight. Day 5. The stiffness that greets you first thing is noticeably quieter than it was 5 days ago. Not gone, quieter. The walk to the kitchen doesn't include the slow shuffle it used to. Day 6. You might catch yourself moving through the first 20 minutes of your day without thinking about your joints at all. No mental note about which way to twist to avoid the twinge. That absence is worth noticing when it happens. Night 7. Most people describe the same thing by night 7. The ritual has stopped feeling like an experiment they're trying out. It's just what they do before bed now, the same way they brush their teeth. And the obvious next thought, almost everyone has it, is why would I stop now? Picture walking down your own stairs in the morning without gripping the railing the whole way down. Just walking, the way you did without thinking about it years ago. Picture bending over to tie your shoes and standing back up without that small automatic exhale you've gotten used to making. Picture getting down on the floor to play with your grandchild. No calculating whether your knees will cooperate, no hesitation before you commit to it. You just get down there because your body lets you. Picture finishing a full Saturday in the garden, on your knees pulling weeds for an hour, and standing up at the end of it without needing a minute to recover before you can walk back inside. Picture reaching the end of a long workday and still having enough left in your body to cook a proper dinner, instead of falling onto the couch the moment you're through the door. None of that requires anything dramatic, no transformation, no overhaul of your life. It just requires your body finishing the overnight work it's been leaving half done for longer than you realized. That's what 7 nights of this starts to give back to you. It's simple on purpose. The simpler it is, the more likely you actually keep doing it. A 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne powder in a small cup of warm water. A teaspoon of raw honey to soften the heat. A squeeze of fresh lemon. Stir it together. Drink it 30 minutes before you go to bed. If you're new to cayenne, start with less, 1/8 of a teaspoon for the first couple of nights, and build up gradually from there once your body has adjusted. You're aiming for warmth and a gentle activation, not for the maximum amount of heat you can tolerate. That's the entire ritual. 2 minutes of preparation, 1 small cup, every night for as long as you want your mornings to keep feeling this way. If you have acid reflux, gastritis, or a sensitive stomach, start with a very small amount and pay attention to how your body responds before increasing it. If you're on blood-thinning medication, mention this to your doctor first. Cayenne has a mild blood-thinning effect that can add to the effect of certain medications. If you're managing your blood sugar with medication, keep an eye on it. Cayenne can lower blood sugar slightly, and the combination is worth monitoring. Beyond that, this small nightly amount, taken consistently, is considered safe for most people. Here's something worth sitting with for a moment. How much of what you've been calling just getting older might actually be unfinished overnight work? Circulation that slowed down too much, inflammation that never got the chance to clear, a body that simply ran out of resources halfway through the night, every single night, for years. And what would it feel like to find out the honest answer is, not as much as you thought? That's really what this comes down to. Not a miracle, not reversing time, just giving your body what it needs to finish the job it was already trying to do every single night, whether you knew it or not. Try it for 7 nights. 1 small warm cup, 30 minutes before bed, that's the whole thing. Then come back here and tell me what you noticed. Was it the stairs, the stiffness easing earlier than usual, a night you actually slept all the way through for the first time in a while? Leave a comment below, your specific night, your specific moment. It helps the next person who finds this video and needs to know, from someone real, that it actually works. And if your mornings changed because of this, send it to someone who's been quietly calling their stiffness just getting older. They don't have to keep accepting that. See you in the next one.